Hello everyone, this is Zebo and welcome to this team setup for my 12 rare challenge for the expedition game mode. So just a disclaimer, I had to put Sohee as well as Arabelle's EX weapon in the training room because if not I would not have enough DPS to get the point requirement for expedition stage 3 with 12 rare heroes. So this is my team setup. Team setup number 1, I run a dark team with Sohee as the leader, with Max Big Sohee in the training room as well as Arabelle's weapon in the training room, and then the 2 minus 0.2 seconds cooldown on weapon skill whenever you kill an enemy, so pretty standard, right? And then we have one Statue of Bravery, so I have 3 Statue of Braveries, and then I run the Eternal Unity for the crit hit chance as well as more damage because I run crit hit multiplier 15%, so 5% crit hit chance, and then I have Hecate for more crit hit, more damage. And Hecate has the dark weapon, right? For Rachel, because for Rachel, she's pretty much there for the chain skill, for the injury to down, so that I can chain into either Karina or Sohee. So I use her, right, with a water weapon instead because that's her main EX weapon, and I do not have a spare dark weapon for her, so I decided to just skip it because her EX weapon provides quite a bit of damage already, and on top of that, right, she only doesn't get Karina's dark buff, so overall she's not really there for the damage because the main source of damage output from this team is actually from Sohee and Hecate, and then Karina is there for her party buff, dark damage plus 40%, as well as the 3% HP recovery on enemy kill, so really important. Then I run the plus 8% attack on enemy kill for the rest of the units for more damage, so that I can try to hit the point requirements as easily as possible. So that's for the first team, dark team. And then we have the Coco team. So Coco, together with Elvira, Dolph, and Rie, they are here for the Coco weapons build spam. So as you guys seen in the gameplay earlier, I basically switched to Coco for the AoE clear if the opponent gets too cluttered, because there's a limited amount of bouncers from Arabelle's weapon. So sometimes if there's way too much enemies, then I'll switch to Coco in her inbound state and then use my weapon skill, clear out, and then change back to the Sohee. So that's for the 2 teams, right? Very straightforward teams. And lastly, I just run like 4 random rare heroes. You don't really need to use them because you only need to switch between your team 1 and team 2 for you to secure the challenge complete. So this is basically my stat numbers. As you guys can see, not really the strongest stats. I don't have a maxed out account for those of you guys who are still wondering, right? So I'll say like I'm probably somewhere in the mid-high tier. But if you have a mid-tier account, you should still be able to do it with similar setups and a bit of optimization on your teams and stuff. So pretty doable. I think the last one is the only real challenge. I took about, I'll say like 7 or 8 attempts with this setup to actually clear it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, right? I'll show you guys the team setup over here. So to clear this challenge, you'll probably need a few units with AoE abilities. So some people actually run Coco lead, right? Coco is there because her weapon skill is just amazing, covers a really big AoE. And you can also use Hecate, which deals piercing damage with a really powerful AoE ability gun as well. So some I can think of with Rui's weapon, right? You can run an Earth team as well. But I chose Sohee because Sohee got a really good buff, which is increase in skill damage, and with that you can actually spam Arabelle's weapon skill to a large degree, which also effectively deals with AoE very well, right? So that's that. And Sohee herself deals melee range AoE, toolbox AoE, so that's a bit of creep clearance, allowing you to kill monsters a little bit faster. So other range heroes other than Sohee, Hecate, and Coco I can think of is Dolph. So if you have Dolph's EX weapon, you can try to run a range fire team because Dolph's attack is really quick and he's able to hit through multiple enemies. However, the only problem with him is that his meteor weapon skill is really slow. So I won't really recommend it unless you don't have a choice and you have a maxed out Dolph. On the melee side, you can try to run the melee dark team, right? With Yuze's weapon on Shapira, and then run like a few melee and Akayuki for the crit hit chance buff and try to make it work. So it's possible, but I'll still prefer to use a range team for this kind of expedition challenges because it's just a lot easier to shoot from a range than run towards the enemy for the points itself. So yep, that's pretty much it for this team sharing for my 12 rare challenge for the first 3 expedition mode. Hope it helps you in terms of clearing your seasonal challenge, as specifically these 3. And thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like and subscribe in order to see more videos from the channel. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!